The goal is we're going to have a podcast, so it doesn't matter how ugly it is.
It's true.
The real fans
as long
can
as your
appreciate
voices
our
don't
ugliness.
get ugly.
Yeah.
Our voices have to
Welcome to Above the Board. Why'd we start smoking? All right. The podcast is about all the geekery things.
Yeah.
It just takes place above the board. So here's my intro script, because we're just going to be say like, welcome to Above the Board with Josh and Phil. Pretty classy. And then we'll say, Above the Board is recorded in front of a live streaming audience. Join us at Twitch TV / Above the Board.
Yeah.
And then we would go in and be like, and today we're going to be playing Back to the Future, Dice Through Time. Is that what it's called? Yeah, Dice Through Time. And then feel like we should maybe say like why we picked it, or like what seems like something we would want from this game that we're about to play. Was that officially our intro for episode 0?
I'm going to say yeah.
Okay.
That's good enough.
So Ryan Reynolds is out promoting Red Notice.
Yeah.
And Will Ferrell is promoting his show with Paul Rudd or whatever.
What?
It's an Apple TV show.
Really?
Where Paul Rudd's like a creepy shrink and gets into Will Ferrell's life.
Nice.
It's like the trailers seem kind of blah, but I feel like it's the best moments. You got long form television. But anyways, so Ryan Reynolds was on Jimmy Kimmel last night, and Will Ferrell's on Jimmy Fallon last night. Except they switched. Like, Jimmy Fallon's like, and here's Will Ferrell, and Ryan Reynolds comes out, it's like, Will couldn't make it, so I'm here. Jimmy Kimmel, the same thing, but like Will Ferrell came out.
That's
and like
hilarious.
they were like, as hosts, they were like really thrown.
Yeah.
And they were like classically unprepared.
That's hilarious.
Like Ryan Reynolds is like, I guess Paul Rudd's in it, so I guess it's like part of the MCU phase 16. It's really funny. So I'm super pumped because I read the rules to Back to the Future, and I feel like it's hitting right where you want a time travel game. Right? There's multiple timelines going on at once. We both control DeLoreans because we're just like at different points in the time travel story.
Okay.
So there's like a penalty if we like go to the same place at the same time.
Very cool.
And see ourselves. And and so it's like kind of loosely follows the plot of the movies, the trilogy.
The trilogy. It's a very colorful board.
Yeah, so you can see the different timelines pretty well. Yeah, this is sealed pretty tight. And so like there's a Biff in each timeline.
Of course,
who, like stops you from accomplishing your goals.
I mean, what would Back to the Future be without a Biff?
Exactly. And so ultimately you win the game by there's like random items in each like that are mixed up across time, and you got to like take them back to where they belong. The more stuff Biff messes up that we don't fix moves us down the out of time tracker until we lose. The bonus tokens are Einstein tokens, like the dog.
Oh, nice.
So,
it's fitting.
Get a Biff for each era.
Like
he's old.
Back to the Future 2-esque one.
Yes.
That one.
Oh yeah.
Like the billionaire Biff. I like how the actor who plays Biff is actually like a super nice Christian comedian.
I would not believe it.
Yeah.
I feel like he did such a good job in the movie. If I met him in person, I would be like really stressed out.
Well,
like, ready to fight.
Apparently he's like super Christian, and it's like he kind of uses that theme in his like stand up. But he's done shows and he's done all kinds of stuff since the movies. And like I didn't believe it either, and then someone pointed it out on YouTube, and I was like, "That's so weird." I mean, good for him, I guess. But
yeah, I've seen him do some other things randomly. I actually feel like Bill Burr is taking the roles that he kind of takes right now.
I said Bill Burr is not very Christian.
No, he's not. But I feel
which
like
is fine too, because I like Bill Burr.
Like, did you watch Reservation Dogs?
No.
Produced by Taika Waititi.
I need to though. I heard it was very good.
It's pretty good. It's very much Atlanta, but on a reservation.
Which is weird.
I feel like is the best.
I feel like that's a
comparison.
Very weird.
And Bill Burr is on there as like a driver's ed teacher.
Nice.
And it's pretty awesome.
Yeah, no, I've heard nothing but good things about it. Yeah, I just haven't gotten around to watching it.
I mean, it's like I feel like it's not as good as Atlanta.
Yeah, well, like I'm not gonna lie, I might be a little bit biased because I'm just such a huge Donald Glover fan.
But it's very much like because he's not making season 3 or whatever.
He is.
You could. Well, I know, but
season 3 and 4 back to back.
The music's so good. I love this movie. I enjoy the sequels, but I love the OG one.
Yeah. 2 is probably my favorite, actually.
Yeah, 2 is real special to me. I love alternate futures. So you want to pick by color, or do you want to pick by timeline you started? I think both are valid approaches.
That is valid. Like brown's the western one.
Yeah.
What's the blue one? Is that the OG
1955,
line?
yeah. Mayor! Well, I'll run for mayor! That's like... He's great.
I'm going to go with
the future.
The old 2015...
Which is the future.
Yes. Not to us. It's the past. It's actually... If we were to go back 2015, technically...
We're going back to the future?
Yeah. From their perspective. You know what I mean?
I think I'll go with 1955. I like the 50s vibes.
If only we had clothes like that.
Dude, the self-lacing shoes.
6 years ago.
The jacket that like resizes to your body. These are nice things.
Can you imagine? Can you even imagine? I can.
Oh, La Brea. That's the other thing I want to talk about.
La Brea.
Especially since we're time traveling.
What a good show, right?
No.
Emmy contender. Emmy sweeps contender. 2022.
It's an Emmy offender.
I don't know, man. You just gotta dig in. You gotta enjoy the giant ground sloths and the dire wolves and the...
All that stuff like went away. So it's basically worse than the last episode you saw.
What? Where'd they go?
They got a different drama to deal with. Oh, because like...
Not animals, though.
No, because like, you know it's a terrible show. Because now the real enemy is they found a fort of like humans. And the most recent episode they referenced Lost again. They're like, we're like Lost. So bad. So bad. Every line is so predictable. They'll be like, oh, you can't go in there. And they're like, well, I have to.
And then they die. Someone dies.
Yeah. Well, a lot of less dying now.
Yeah?
Because it's just such like a basic show. And that they only introduce characters to die. There's like, no, I'm not worried about any of the main characters at all. There's no stakes in this show. No one has a history, so all their motivations are made up every episode.
I've only watched 2 episodes, 3 episodes, and from everything that I've heard from you, I have zero interest in going back and watching the rest.
But I just got like this problem with these NBC time travel shows. Like how I just like want them to be good.
Specifically NBC, huh?
Dude, because they did that other one, like it was called like Timelines or something. And they were like, I can't remember what it was called. Something Timeless, maybe.
Timeless, yeah. That actually did pretty well.
It got the 3 seasons, but the
4, I thought.
The stories were so dumb.
Didn't you get to 4?
Maybe, but it was a huge disappointment as well.
But in primetime TV, anything more than 2 seasons is a success.
Oh, didn't know that.
Typically, you know what I mean.
That would explain why Fox shows are considered successful.
Yeah.
Because they're like 2 and done.
Yep.
Oh, this is the first player marker is the wheel. I gotta get to 88 miles per hour. So, I'll roll first. Let's see. Good. I can punch Biff.
Into the dung pile.
Yes, in front of Lou's Cafe. It's the only appropriate place.
Yep.
So I punched him. Then Lightning Bolt solves the event. That's pretty lucky. Let's see, what's my first item? Marty's guitar. I got to take it to Hill Valley High in 1985. All right. Let's see. Okay. I guess I could do that. Because I could use this to move here. and a flux capacitor to the high school.
Very good. Look at that.
I feel like this is
making some progress.
Lucky opening roll.
Yeah.
I don't imagine the whole game is going to be this easy.
Probably not.
So I got to defeat this event next turn.
But you're in position to do so.
Yes. Still good.
Very good.
Still feel like we're fixing the timeline that Biff ruined. With his sports almanac.
What a jerk. What a Biff.
This is so delicious. Tonight's episode
is brought to you by
Boyle's Cane Soda.
Isn't there a...
Grim.
Isn't there a bottling company here in Louisville for it?
Is it? Because I know Joella's serves it.
Yeah.
And now I'm wondering if they got this creme on the fountain.
Creme.
They
do, yeah, they definitely do.
All right, well,
that's what I always get.
Is it?
Yeah.
Is it better in the bottle?
No.
It's not?
No.
All right. I'm going to try it next time.
Because, I mean, no fountain drink is better than a glass bottle.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Well,
well, no, I take that back.
Cherry Coke
McDonald's.
Dope.
I was going to say
Are you a McDonald's Coke person?
Man. I mean, I know the secret. Everybody knows the secret. It's just more syrup. But still.
The carbonation ratio is different. I think they got like an extra thick syrup situation going on.
It's so gross. I mean, it's still... I love McDonald's Coke. So good. It's better than any other Coke out there, I think, personally. I know some people swear by Mexican cola.
I love them. That's really
what dude, Mexican
cola is good. Because I like the real sugar,
Yeah.
And like you were saying, that glass bottle.
Yeah. I like Mexican cola, too. Don't get me wrong.
No, I get you.
Quite delicious. Quite delicious.
If they had glass bottle cherry Coke, that would be my jam.
Do they not?
I've never seen it.
I feel like they do. They do. The boiling or whatever.
It's like some black cherry. It's not as good. I mean Coca-Cola.
Just saying.
The proper brand.
All right.
Because like wild cherry, Pepsi.
Yeah, that's garbage.
I agree with you. And most of those boiling sodas on the fountain, I feel like they're not sweet enough.
Yeah.
Like, shame on my American self, I guess. But...
It's true. See, like the cream soda at Joella's is pretty darn good.
I bet. I mean,
but I feel really like it's better in the bottle.
All right, but I also feel like I'm gonna try the soda again.
Yeah, let's do a little.
Yeah. I'm not chugging it. I'm savoring it. Since 1891. Yeah. That would be like here on the timeline.
There's a place, they only have a food truck, I think. It's called, like, Sassafras or something like that. But they have, like, old school, like, sassafras root drinks, like, actual traditional root beer from, like an old 1800s recipe.
Neat.
Dude, it's so good. It is super good. And I've seen it at, like, food truck festivals or, like, you know, random street festivals that have food truck, you know.
Yeah.
Components.
So you always getting your root beer?
Yeah. Well, I haven't seen them since 2020, so I don't know if they're still
Rest
around.
in peace.
But yeah, they might be ripped. Ripped. All right, so
roll them. It's your turn to roll them. You haven't done anything.
Oh,
be free.
So I'm trying to help clear these events too on the different timelines.
Right? Yeah.
I mean, I guess I can use one flux capacitor to move my guy up here. And get rid of Biff so that we can take care of that.
Yeah. You can knock him all the way back to the tram bridge if you want. Train bridge.
Let's do that. Let's put him there. Let's put him in the train bridge. That way, we can... Because we only need, what, one dock token?
Yeah. And now, you get to be first player this time.
Yay! Lightning strikes clock tower at 10:04 p.m. in 1955 again.
We just did that. I guess if we're hopping back and forth between timelines, we'll keep coming back to it.
Yeah.
So good. Yeah. That's
and the object of the game is to get all items back before you run out of time, right? All right, cool.
Before we're out of time. It's like I always like that detail of the license plate, but featuring it this prominently in the game is kind of like annoying me. It's like this episode of The Simpsons where they formed the barbershop quartet, and they're like, we need to come up with a name for our quartet that's really clever but less funny every time you hear it. So they call themselves the B Sharps. They'll just like laugh And it's like one of those like dwindling chuckles. And then they move on. I feel like this can get pretty wild if you're doing 4 players too. Mm-hmm. They'll be like zooming past each other all the time.
Yeah.
Oh, I see. Because now, in 1955, we've got 2 unsolved events, which means this goes up twice. And then now there's paradoxes happening here since we haven't resolved those. Uh-oh. He invents the flux capacitor again. Now, this hasn't come up yet, but there's like a super event, basically. You have to solve it by spending 3 things.
That's going to get real annoying real fast.
I think so. Oh my gosh, the clock tower again. We're hosed, man.
1955 is a bust. Just cut it out of the timeline.
Yeah. Don't need that year. And then the train pushes the DeLorean on the train bridge again. Kind of disappointed with how many repeats this is. I mean, I don't know how many I expected there to be.
Yeah. Like iconic scenes or moments from the
movies.
movies.
Yeah. Well, because I feel like on the flip side, if they put one lightning strikes the clock tower on the whole deck, you'd be like, how come we didn't do it? You know?
It's like
you're so disappointed.
One of 3 scenes that I remember from that movie.
I know. It's like I need that moment to happen in my game.
Yeah. And we have Doc introduces the DeLorean time machine to Marty in 1985. And this is in Twin Pines Mall, obviously.
Oh, you're in Twin Pines Mall.
And what does it need to defeat it? The punch and Doc Brown.
It was the punch to beat the Libyans.
I guess.
Marty, the Libyans!
Not a bulletproof vest that you convinced Doc to wear. Cool. And it is a Smart Jacket from 2015.
Sweet.
And that goes to Cafe
88's.
Yes.
The Nostalgia Cafe.
Yes.
That's the real thing we should have gotten in 2015.
We kind of did.
The 80s Nostalgia Cafe.
I mean, like, if you think about it, the 90s now is like what the 80s and 70s were 20 years ago.
They really are.
And it's a little upsetting.
I ain't mad at it.
No, not upsetting the fact that it's coming back, but upsetting the fact that, like, 90s and early thousands, the aughts, if you will, are like, that's old school now.
Yes. Yeah, that is concerning. Because I got hit with another thing that made me feel real old. Where, like I was talking about something that happened, and then, like, last weekend that retreat I was on was all college students or whatever.
Yeah.
And they're all
so like 18, 19.
Yeah, I guess that's the thing, right? 18 years ago was 2003. Right. And that's 2003 is the year I graduated high school.
It's disgusting.
All right.
It makes me feel so sad.
I just like every time I fly through the time, that song is in my head.
Just need you to roads where we're going. We don't need.
I can use your ripple die and this wrench. Boom.
Boom. Get out of here.
Look at
Super
that.
time event.
Look at that. So Doc saves Marty at the clock tower with his sniper rifle. That's dope.
This is making me kind of want to rewatch the trilogy.
Isn't it, though?
I'm not going to lie to you. Specifically 3, because I don't really remember a whole lot about 3. I remember certain sequences. Like, I remember pushing the DeLorean.
Yeah.
And I also remember the dinner where, like, the pellets are still in the rabbit. And Marty's like...
Oh, yeah, the little bullet comes out. That's awesome.
Right.
Like, the events are just more dangerous.
Yeah. More paradoxical, even,
Ooh.
in this case.
So, did you say you saw Dune?
That's such a good segue.
It was a terrible segue.
No, it's so good. Like, I need to buy a Segway just because of how well you segued. That's how you convinced me.
It's the whole marketing.
Yeah, I'm done. Like, I get all these gadgets.
I was thinking it'd be awesome, like, someone's like, I want to bring up Dune, but I don't know how. And then you roll in with your segue, like, meow, meow. You should talk about Dune. Thanks for that segue,
like,
Josh.
Dressed as a sandworm. Like it has like just like a big sleeve on it or something. But yeah, I did see Dune. I did not see it in theaters like you said you did though, which I am sad about. But I will see it in theaters soon. Because I hear that, like, I enjoyed it. I thought it was very good. And I recently read the first book. It's fairly, I mean, it's accurate enough. I mean, those books are so bananas. Have you read them?
I've only read the first one that the movie's based on.
Yeah.
And it's been so long. I thought the movie was good because it made me feel like I was reading the book again.
Yeah.
Like, it felt, like, close enough.
Yeah, and I feel like it is.
And it brought back a lot of details I'd forgotten. Because the person I saw it with hadn't read the books at all. And I was like, did you notice when they said this? Like, that was important. And I know that because I read the whole book.
The whole book. Well, anyway, no, Dune the movie, very good, very epic. It's like Game of Thrones in space.
And that's the other thing, too. I feel like a big political movie like that, it seems like they really got across all the information you needed.
Mm-hmm. Without sacrificing anything. And, like, I really, like, he gets a lot of grief or whatever because it's too artsy-fartsy, but I really like Denis Villeneuve's vision on his movies.
Yeah, I thought it made it work, especially, like, when you're in the theater on the big screen.
Yeah,
those big landscape shots and the spaceships flying by. It fit the tone really well. Like, I feel like it set the tone.
Yeah.
Like, to me, the biggest, I want to say complaint, maybe biggest heartbreak of that movie is that the whole movie is just the setup for everything else.
The rest of the book.
Yeah, it is. Like, because I was telling the person I'm with, like, oh, this next scene's great, and the credits roll, and I was like, oh. But I
was very surprised at how, like, abrupt the movie was.
But they couldn't go any further because that's the end of all the first part stuff.
Yeah.
And all the second part stuff's about to happen.
Yeah.
But
it's the Freeman.
Yeah, and it surprised me because it was like a really slow movie, but it didn't feel slow in a weird way. Because it was like, I was like, man, they're just flying. I was like, this is like supposed to be like a 2-hour movie or whatever, 2.5 hours.
Yeah, and
I was like, I was like, I can't believe how much they fit in. And then the credits were rolling. I was like, oh, that was 2.5 hours.
See, like the director's like kind of like Blade Runner 2049 or whatever it is.
Mm-hmm.
Is that the name of it?
Yeah.
That movie feels like it's forever. Like,
yeah.
It is. I enjoy it. It is a good continuation of the Blade Runner story.
Doesn't original Blade Runner feel like it takes forever, though?
That's very true. Ridley Scott was on something.
Because I really want to see it, but that's what keeps getting me. It's like, I'm like at home trying to fold laundry or something, and it starts out so slow.
The interrogation scene, like in the very beginning, when he's like talking to the replicant.
Yeah. You know what? I must be overselling how hard I tried. I don't think I've gotten that far.
It's like literally the first...
I think this is like 2001 Space Odyssey, super slow spaceship docking for 3 minutes kind of thing.
Yeah, I mean,
and there's like captions to read for all this backstory.
To be fair, Blade Runner does open up, and it takes a while to get to the interior. Like, probably like 5-10 minutes. Maybe. Yeah. Well, maybe not 10 minutes. Like 5 minutes. We'll say 5 minutes. But like the opening sequence is Deckard, Harrison Ford's character, interviewing a potential replicant, the android, for those who haven't seen Blade Runner.
But it's just like expository information until you get there.
I mean, there's so much in that world, though. And like, there's these highbrow science fiction movies that like people like Ridley Scott and now Denis Villeneuve is doing that, like, you kind of... It's like a catch-22 because like there's so much fun to like lose yourself in them. Yeah. But they're so exposition heavy that they're very clunky.
And I'm not gonna lie, I think that's what impressed me about Dune.
Yeah.
Is because the first movie is basically all exposition. For the good stuff that happens in the second part of the book. Yeah. Yet I didn't feel bored like I was reading exposition or whatever. Yeah. And because all this exposition like you do need, like to maybe feel like you understand this whole imperial coup thing or whatever. Yeah. It comes in at the right moment with just enough for you to like follow the action through or whatever. So good.
It's very good. The cast is awesome too. Like, I mean, come on. You got Oscar Isaac, Stellan Skarsgård.
Yeah, everyone just killed it.
Momoa, Jason Momoa, Aquaman.
He
what's his name? Really Timothy Chalamet was awesome too.
He did very good too. Yeah.
It's Paul Atreides.
And I'm not gonna lie, I feel like I didn't really know him in anything but an SNL.
Who? Timothy Chalamet?
Yeah, because he was on SNL to promote Dune. I say this not. I don't know why I would lie either way, Yeah. But because SNL, I feel like, has been hitting this season.
Yeah? I'm not going to lie.
They got some new cast members. Like, this last episode, they did this sketch where it was like, this guy comes in the urinal, and then someone else comes in, and he's like, hey, buddy, how's it going? And then it just, like, goes dark and close up, and he's like, why did I say that? I never called anybody buddy. And like the whole sketch is all like that dumb stuff people say in the office urinals or whatever.
That's hilarious. I couldn't even tell you. Is Keenan still a cast member?
Yeah, he is.
He's been going strong for like what, 10 years?
He's going on 15 or something. Yeah. It's insane.
Which still makes me so happy that he started out on all that, which is like the kids SNL.
Yes.
And then, like, he did Kenan and Kel, did a few other little things. Some bombs in the box office, we shall say. But, I mean, you still love Kenan. Yes. And then all of a sudden he's in SNL, apparently 15 years ago, or almost 15 years ago, and he's still going strong.
Well, one of the rumors is that Lorne Michaels is taking him as his protege.
Nice.
So, like, when Lorne Michaels retires, like, Kenan will be the man. Which excites me. I like that theory.
Yeah.
Secondly, he was in an interview with Conan, which I thought was hilarious, because he has a show, Kenan, or whatever.
Yeah.
That cracked me up, because they were joking. It's a good show. I enjoy it. But they were joking, he's like, yeah, we came up with the name first, or whatever. And then he's like, and so Kenan was like, oh, yeah, they tried to get Ivory Wayans to do it, but they had to get me instead. Which I thought was awesome. Conan talked about how he's, like, just such a good sketch actor. Yeah. You know, he like compared him to like Phil Hartman or whatever. Yeah. Where it's just like he knows how to like make a moment funny for all the stupid stuff you do in sketches or whatever.
Yeah.
And so he's like, it's amazing that like SNL's the only show you can make money doing that. And you get to be on it all the time.
Good for him, man. That'd be awesome if he becomes the new Lorne Michaels though.
Yeah, because Lorne Michaels produces so much stuff too. Like anything like an SNL person does.
Yeah,
like Lorne Michaels produces it or whatever.
Hands in the pot.
Punching Biff. Boom!
Get out of here, Biff.
Which will give me another item card from 1885.
One step.
The case of plutonium.
There goes the 85.
Yeah, dude, that's like one of my favorite lines in the movie. Is like, you might be able to get plutonium on any street corner in 1985.
Yeah. Have you seen the deepfake fan-made trailer of the Doc Brown prequel movie? It's hilarious.
No.
It's like they took a whole bunch of like Daniel Craig era like Bond sequences and deepfaked a young Christopher Lloyd on Daniel Craig's body. And it actually, I'll have to see if I can find it for you and send it to you or show it to you while you're here.
Yeah.
But like, it's actually not perfectly done, but done well enough to where if you're just kind of like watching it like in passing, you'd be like, wait, is this real? Like, are they using the MCU de-aging technology to put Christopher Lloyd?
Did I tell you I watched The Rock's movie The Tooth Fairy recently?
For the first time?
Yeah. Okay. Have you repeatedly watched this movie?
And I got 4 younger siblings. What do you want from me?
You get a pass. That's fine. All the hockey scenes, it's like clearly superimposed his face on a hockey player's stunt double.
Yeah. It's so bad.
And I was just like, thank you, deepfake, for not making all movies look this bad.
It's so good. Come on, fist.
Like, kind of sad.
Dang it.
The fist is the defeat Biff icon. Doesn't seem like... I feel like he should be trickier. You don't punch him a lot. Like, the dad punches him.
Yeah. Like, he gets punched in all 3 movies, didn't he?
Oh, I guess he does, doesn't he?
Yeah. At least once.
Because I guess Marty knocks him out after he uses a steel plate.
Yeah.
Because he's like, don't call me chicken.
Yeah. So that's... I feel like that's accurate to the lore of Back to the Future.
Right. Yeah, that's true.
Yes!
Yes!
Get out of here, Biff! Too bad they don't have the Jaws movie theater. That was my favorite part as a kid. Alright, so I'm gonna return Marty's smart jacket.
Yeah. Smart. Yeah, we got smart watches, smartphones. Why don't we have smart jackets?
We have smart toothbrushes, dude.
I know!
Like, we have smart pretty much literally everything except for smart clothes. Give it time, though. Give it time. Elon Musk is working on it.
Sure.
Before he goes back to his home planet. Dude, he's an alien. He's got to be an alien. He's working on a mass acceleration engine. He is not of this planet. I mean, come on. I don't know what else to tell you.
And draw 3 event cards. Hoverboard chase at the clock tower in the future 2015. Your future is whatever you make it. Immediately reduce the out-of-time tracker by 2. Well, that's nice.
That's super nice. How helpful.
I think they're expecting us to be losers, but we're winners. We should have gone for hard mode.
We're above the board.
Doc falls in love with Clara. Oh, I forgot that part was funny too.
Weird.
Because like Marty's like, oh, every school kid knows the story about the teacher who fell in a canyon. Yeah. We all wanted our teachers to fall in a canyon.
Speaking of 1885, Phil, have you seen that new movie on Netflix? Harder They Fall? Harder They Fall.
No, I haven't.
With a plus cast, man. If like you don't like the cast, it's got Jonathan Majors.
Yes.
Idris Elba.
Yes.
Lakeith Stanfield.
Yes.
Regina King. Zazie Beetz. So we already got like a quarter of the Atlanta crew in there.
Yes.
And then we actually half the Atlanta crew. Still missing Donald Glover and Brian Henry.
Is that Paperboy?
Yeah. Which he's in Eternals.
Paperboy. Oh, dude. I thought this was funny. I saw the Atlanta teaser or whatever is on this website that's only open at night. So you have to like go to the website like after 8 p.m.
Nice.
To see this video that's like real weird. It's like some like Paperboy's like in some office and it's like real foreboding music and he's just like sweating. It's real weird. And
I love Atlanta. It's so good.
I know. And so after I saw that, I got on Facebook and I saw someone said Atlanta's being Atlanta. Yes. And I was like, reply, oh yes, that trailer is so weird, very Atlanta of it. And then I hit send and I was like, oh, they're talking about the Braves winning the pennant.
Well, if it makes you feel any better, Phil, I would have done the same exact thing. Because Atlanta is such a wonderfully weird show.
Because I was like, man, I never would have thought this guy liked Atlanta.
Yeah.
But then I was like, wait a minute.
Because one of my favorite episodes still is the Teddy Perkins episode.
Oh, yeah. I know. It's been so long, I feel like I just need to rewatch them again.
So good, yeah.
To get pumped for season 3.
But anyway, no, the Harder They Fall, very good. Definitely worth... Like, if you like Django Unchained...
Haven't seen it.
And if you like A Knight's Tale...
I love A Knight's Tale.
Then you'll like The Harder They Fall.
That's like top 3 favorite movies for me.
I know. That's why I threw that in there, because...
It's enticing.
The Harder They Fall is very much like a Western remix type thing. Like, they don't talk like it's Western. Like, it's not, like, modern language.
Which is funny to me, because I felt like so much of advertising was like, the real Wild West.
But not in this way. And, like, the characters are real. Like, real people. You know, like actual black cowboys and gunslingers and, you know, criminals, outlaws, lawmen, whatever. Forgot Delroy Lindo's in it. He's a very good older actor. I enjoy him a lot and pretty much everything he does.
Okay.
I don't know if you ever saw in the Five Bloods or whatever it was, the Vietnam movie. Chadwick Boseman's last movie came out last year.
No, I didn't see it.
Spike Lee, I think, directed it.
Yeah.
Very good. And Delroy Lindo is like one of the main characters in that movie, and he crushed it. So good. But anyway, The Harder They Fall, very fun movie. Super long. It's like 2.5 hours long. It's one of those movies that like I watched it while I was working. Yeah. And I was like, it's so good. Like, it's just such a fun movie. Like, it doesn't take itself too terribly seriously. Like, there's some dramatic moments, and when they're there, they're supposed to be there, but otherwise, it's really just like a super fun, because the director's like like he's a DJ. He's not
I'm loving this.
a traditional auteur, you know? Yeah. So, like, the music is very much not on, you know, it's like A Knight's Tale. Like, it's very much modern, like, hip-hop and, like, R&B versus, like, old school, like, or, like, a Hans Zimmer score. It's not that at all. It's very much, like a fast-paced, like modern score, which is pretty cool.
Man, I was watching just some movie, like some classic movie. Maybe it's just Emily was watching Harry Potter.
Yeah.
And I was like, why don't they score movies anymore? I used to think it was weird all the movies did orchestra all the time.
Yeah.
But they don't score movies at all anymore.
They don't,
it's like, it's just they slap some nonsense in there.
That's all they do. Although, like, what's his name? The guy who scored Black Panther, and he's also worked on Atlanta, and he's done a few other stuff. Yeah. Big stuff. His name, he's a German guy. I can't think of his name. Right. He's a DJ, but his scores are phenomenal.
Yes. No, there has. I feel like there has been more like original music that fits the tone of films really well. Yeah. Like Black Panther's a great example of that. Yes. I always think about Tron Legacy, how that soundtrack outshined that whole movie.
Dude, yes. And was it who did it?
Daft Punk.
Daft Punk, yeah.
Yes. And but just like overall, like any given movie, it's just like this weird generic music.
Yeah,
on
I feel
a keyboard.
It. No, I totally feel it. Especially if it's not like a big blockbuster film. Yeah. You know what I mean?
No, but even because the video blog or whatever I read about it, watched about it, was talking about how now because they edit so much digitally, like their example was in the movie Thor. They're like Hans Zimmer scored it, but they edited it and they found some other Hans Zimmer music that was very similar. And so they're like, the scene was edited with this Hans Zimmer song that fits the vibes.
That's a tragedy.
And then Hans Zimmer basically had to write a new song that sounded like his old song to match the scene that was edited to his old song.
That is terrible.
And I was like, what a messed up world we're in. Because, like, just back in the day, it's like you'd have a rough cut. The composer would write a song that would, like, match the mood of the scene. And then, like, you finish editing with the music. And so they like kind of align that way as they're like made together. Right. But now they're made like totally independently because they like edit it all together. Yeah. And they're like, make me a song that fits.
Yeah. Yeah. That's such a. And I mean, like, it also kind of bums me out that like the further we progress into modern filmmaking, like whatever techniques, like as far as making a movie goes, the less we have of traditional minded people involved behind the camera, including composers.
Yeah, no,
like, John Williams is retired, I'm pretty sure. I think he's done.
I hope he is. I'm sure he hates it.
He's like in his 90s. And like, Hans Zimmer.
Because I feel like if I were Hans Zimmer, I would have retired the very first time someone's like, would you please compose a song that sounds just like this song, but not like that song?
You do something.
Like, it's my song. Just use it. Like, what are you paying me for?
Why are we having this conversation? Like, who's the guy who did, who's always associated with Nolan? Is that Zimmer? Hans Zimmer?
I think so. Yeah. He had someone else do the soundtrack for Tenet, though, or whatever.
Yeah. Well, I know that Interstellar is like a big...
Oh, yeah.
Like, orchestral...
Yeah.
Score, and I feel like it was Hans Zimmer that was behind that. Same with Dark Knight. Dark Knight had a pretty big. Well, actually, like his Batman trilogy had like a pretty big, like music. Yeah. You know, what's the word I'm looking for? Impact. Like, the score had a big impact in the movie. So.
I think that's my vibe about movies, anyways. I feel like they're very beholden to the schedule, right? Like you pay a superstar a ton of money, you got to get them in there for whatever days are available.
Especially nowadays.
And then you gotta like get that movie in the theater to get your return on investment. Yeah. And so it's like I just feel that way about every step of the movie. Because I saw like an interview with Jackie Chan talking about how in his old, like before he came to do American films, like people were like, how could you do that? He's like, I just, practiced till it worked. Yeah. In one of his old movies, he does is like he throws his fan up, spins around, and like catches it or whatever. Yeah. It's a whole day of shooting.
Oh, I believe it.
Like a whole day. Yeah. It's just so you get that one little thing. Because he like had no schedule to keep. He's like, we're just gonna keep doing it until we get the film we want.
Yeah. There's an article I read somewhere that there's like a newer filmmaker that does the same sort of thing where it's like 8 to 10 hours of one scene, of one moment in a scene. Yeah. Because it's not the way that they want it. I can't remember who it is. I want to say it might be Dennis Villeneuve, where he's like, people have talked about him Maybe it wasn't him though, because the character
Fincher is someone I've heard of who's just like notorious for doing like 40, 50 takes. David Fincher.
Oh yeah. There's someone else though that was like, because it was like their death scene, and they were in water, and they kept. I can't remember. I'll have to think about it. But anyway, like it's just funny that like they kept doing this one death scene like over and over again for like 12 hours, because it wasn't exactly what he wanted. It wasn't like in freezing cold water, but like he had everything in place to keep the actor or actress
sure
like safe.
Didn't accidentally shoot him or anything.
Yeah. Topical. Oh my god! That whole thing is a nightmare. It's like a freaking Law and Order episode come to life. It's so bad.
It's a mess.
And people like throwing a fit to Alec Baldwin because he's super left wing. Like, come on, it's not political.
I know. I saw someone pop in on Reddit who say they're involved in like the weapons handling, the armorer on set or whatever.
Yeah, what a name.
And they were going through like all the rules or whatever, and it was like every single rule they keep in place so no one gets shot on set was like violated.
Yeah.
They're like even ignoring the fact someone put live ammo in it prior to it to shoot around for fun, being never okay in a movie.
You're right.
Like there's all these rules about like where you put the gun and who handles the gun, and the armorer like checks it before they give it to an actor, and every actor checks it to make sure they're not going to shoot anyone on accident.
Yeah.
And then they give it back, and the armorer checks it again before they lock it up, you know?
Yeah.
But it was like they were doing none of it.
None
of it. And they said it was like...
You don't know why? Because it was an independent film. We ain't got the budget for all this safety crap. Ugh. We're going to shoot it, and we're going to just...
I mean, I'm all for cutting loose a little bit, but... Guns are intense,
bro.
Like anybody who's ever anything with a gun,
the one live round in the gun, it just boggles my mind.
Well, that's what they're saying. Just some crew people like took him out back to shoot him before, like shoot cans, like before the scene.
Why would you allow that?
Exactly. Exactly.
Why would you be like, sure, go for it? So dumb. But anyway, bring it home. You definitely need to watch The Harder They Fall. I don't want to spoil anything as far as the plot goes, because it is a interesting plot. Oh, okay. It's a little predictable, but how it's delivered is very fun. And the set pieces in the movie are worth the time spent watching
it. All right.
And then, of course, Jonathan Majors, dude, like, he's just quickly becoming one of my favorite, like, actors right now.
Yes.
He's just so good in everything he does.
Oh, that's why I brought up Saturday Night Live earlier. He's hosting... this weekend.
Like, this coming weekend?
Yeah, and I'm pretty pumped.
As in, like, 2 days from now?
Yeah.
Yes! I'm watching it.
Which will probably be before this podcast comes out.
Probably. But
so, if the episode sucks, you're judging us.
I don't care.
But I don't know. I'm telling you, SNL's hitting hard.
Dude, I just love Jonathan. Like, his role, like, his bit is, like, the Kang variant, spoilers, for Loki.
Yeah.
So good. So good. I mean, like... The show was all over the place. I still enjoyed it as a whole, but Lovecraft Country was so good in that.
Oh, I do. I think about a lot how cool it was. Each episode was a different genre.
Yeah.
I thought that was really bold.
The baby head ghost gets you every time.
I forgot about that. Your movie first. Let's see. We got 2 events here. So we're going to move up 2, and then we have a paradox token. So we're up to 4.
Oh, boy.
I feel like that's a mark of a good co-op game. Is like, you start out okay, and things kind of get worse.
Yeah.
And there should be this point in the game where it's kind of like...
Dude, Mothman was massacring... Or no, it wasn't a Mothman. It was Chupacabra.
Yeah.
He was massacring our board last...
Yeah.
He was wiping out survivors left and right.
Yes.
And then we finally...
Well, so that's what I'm saying. That I did have a lot of fun playing Horrified. But it ended up kind of in that spot where it was like, okay, just one left. We can handle this.
Yeah.
But I feel like the best co-op games are where it starts out where you're like, oh, we can handle this. But then you kind of get to that, oh, crap, can we handle this?
Yeah.
We need to do this or we'll lose.
I'm going to roll these, right?
Yep. Get a punch.
Punch. Punch it out. Punch it out.
Yes!
Get out of here, Biff. We're going to send you to Hilldale. We don't need you. Wait. Yeah, we're gonna send you to hell down.
Get your darn hands off her.
It is Doc's letter. Return to the clock tower in 1885.
Mm-hmm. I read your letter, Marty.
So, I don't know why. Here's my segue for this because that just reminded me. Have you seen Ted Lasso?
I have not.
Dude, so, like...
Jason Sudeikis, also good on SNL this year.
Is he still a cast member?
No, he came back to host.
Oh, okay.
And they did a What's Up With That, just so I could do a little dancing in the background.
Nice.
Yeah, so how do you feel about Ted Lasso? Is it as good as everyone says?
Dude, it's better.
Oh.
It is like one of the best shows I've seen in a very long time. I don't think it's going to be remembered for its comedy, because it's not really... I mean, it's funny. Like, it's got funny moments, and it's got some pretty good liners in it. And, like, moments that are, like, chuckle-worthy. Like, there's, like, 2 or 3 moments that, like, had me, like, bust out laughing, right?
Yeah.
So, like, my favorite comedy show, like, currently is What We Do in the Shadows. That show has me in tears every time I watch it. That show is so funny, so good, so well done. So, like, everything, there's not a bad thing about that show, right?
Okay.
Ted Lasso there's not a bad thing about the show, but it's much more, like, humanizing.
Yeah, that's what everyone says. It's kind of like a hopeful...
It's a very wholesome show. Yes, it's a very wholesome show. And, like, season 1 is very much themed around the idea of, like, having... the importance of having a support system in order to overcome life's obstacles, whatever they may be. Season 2 is very much about the idea of kind of like rolling with change, like using that same support system to overcome obstacles to help you deal with the fact that things inevitably will change and will never stay the same. Mm-hmm. No matter how bad they are or how good they are, they're going to change. Mm-hmm. And if they're bad and they change for the worse or for the better, it's a crapshoot. You're never going to know, right? But if you're in a really good situation and it gets worse, then, you're right back where you started. Just Ted Lasso is just like, I feel like it's like a Mr. Rogers feel, like the messages that he put out in his show.
Okay. Is for grown-ups?
But for grown-ups. And not in a, like, whatever format Mr. Rogers is, It's a very good show. And Jason Sudeikis, like, he deserves every ounce of praise for his acting on that show.
Nice.
Like, it's a comedy show, and I'm going to tell you straight up, it got me 2-3 times hard, out of nowhere, emotionally.
Oh.
Like, out of nowhere.
I do like that.
Like, I was sitting there watching one episode, and I was like, I think I know where this is going. This is kind of sad. And then he just took a sharp turn into, like, super sad. But then it ends on a happy note. But it just, like, takes a real quick detour to, like, emotional gut punch. And I was watching it, and I was like, I'm about to go to bed. I can't watch this right now. Like, this is...
There's some dust in my eye.
Yeah, there's something. But no, it's definitely worth all the praise that it's been getting. I'm very happy for everyone involved. Like, because it's not... Like, I read an article... today actually that like one of the main characters co-wrote it or co-created it with Jason Sudeikis or whatever. They actually expected it to be a bomb. Like they didn't think it'd be popular. They didn't think that it'd be successful. They're like, it's just something we want to do. And then it came out, and when it first came out, it got no attention. Really. Like, no one said anything bad about it, but it wasn't getting hype. Like, fall of last year's when people started really watching, they're like, this is a show that we need after the crap year that we had, And then 2021's not proven to be that much better than 2020. Yeah. Because of that, everyone's like, dude, this show is so good. And, like, the guy the co-creator, his name is Brendan Hunt, he was like, yeah, we had no idea that this was going to happen, but we're okay with it. Obviously. Like, we'd love to... keep this going. And I'm like, dude, after watching 2 seasons of it, I'm like, man, when is the next season coming? I don't even necessarily care about the story right now. I just like to hear these nuggets.
Man, because right now my plan is I'm sure my wife will get a new iPhone next year, and it'll give us 6 months of Apple TV with it or whatever.
Dude, yes.
And then I'm gonna be like, all right, Ted Lasso time.
It is
on the Lasso.
Colorful language.
Oh, well then she'll quickly give up and it'll be just me.
Just saying. I mean, it's football players in England. They're not known for having...
Well, we did watch Murders in the Building with some colorful language. Probably not as much as English football players. All right, if nothing happens, 2015 is going to be the year. And it's going to give us 4 out of times, pushing us to 10.
Oof.
Which sucks, but it's not game over. Get on my level, son.
Hey. Easy. Don't be a Biff. All right? I'll shove you in some poo.
How dare you?
It was a big play. It was a big play.
Although, 4 on the out of time. Womp, womp, womp.
Hey, 8's better than 10.
You can't set up paradoxes in the future, right?
I mean, time is a flat circle, Philip. Everyone knows that once you go past 2015, you end up back in 1885. Everybody knows this. Come on.
Yeah, those 200 years are the only years that exist.
Get on my level, Phil.
I need you to get back to the future.
Great Scott. After rolling dice this round, all players must re-roll all Flux.com results. Keep the second result.
Ugh.
That's disgusting. I'm so sorry for that.
Oh, I'll turn in the power laces. Okay, we'll survive as long as I can defeat this. Come on. All I need is like 1 dock face. We're rich. Great Scott. So we defeated this.
Disaster.
Yes.
This Avengers Endgame level threat.
So we get 4 out of times because there's 4 events in 2015. Additionally, there is a paradox counter, so we go to 10. We're going to lose next turn, man. I don't see any way out of this.
So we're going to lose?
We're going to lose real bad. Well, I can travel back in time. That's key. Or forward in time. I can go back to the future.
As it were.
And I need to go to the 1985 clock tower. Dude, I'm not even doing this on purpose. I'm such a good roller today. Turn it in. We're going to lose.
Unless I take out another event. Or I can use dock tokens.
Oh, dock tokens will save us.
I got a dock token.
Money. And the flux capacitor.
So I need to go to... Do I need to go back to the future?
I mean, I guess you could reroll the 1 and hope for the miracle.
Let's do it.
Alright.
Let's do it. Who cares? Let's see what we got. Clock tower. Clock tower, baby.
No! That was terrible. 2 is our worst. So we go up to 11. Haven't lost yet. We gotta, I guess, defeat the clock tower in 1955.
Look, we got this, man. We got this.
I don't know if there's a way, my friend. Einstein token. This is not good.
It's not
stupid dog. You're worthless. And then ripple your lightning bolt, because that'll help me.
Great. Like here?
Yeah. Okay. Oh no, it won't help me. It doesn't go back in time. It only goes forward.
You can get it in 1885.
This time's a flat circle.
Yeah.
Oh, I did get a flux capacitor. That's huge. Yeah, no, we lose. Let's see, wrench is good, but I don't have enough to solve the clock tower.
Yeah, I guess you're right.
2 locations in the past. It's going to put us to 12 when we lose.
Wah, wah.
We're out of time! Yeah! Dang, that was close.
It's the first board game we lost, man. Well, no, we lost a couple puzzles in the initiative.
Yeah. I'm trying to think here. I think we were just playing loosey-goosey in the beginning. I don't know what we would have done different.
This?
Yeah.
Oh. No, I feel like...
Because I had some clutch rolls.
I feel like we played pretty smart, man. I wouldn't call it loosey-goosey.
Yeah, I don't know.
Because, like, I mean, yeah, think about it. We took... we did 11 things, like, items.
That's true. 11 and 12.
Good.
And then, for standard difficulty, that's not bad.
Yeah.
I guess...
Standard consolation, when I start a new game that I never played before, I never play average. I always go easy.
That's not me.
I know that's not you.
I started standard.
No.
And if it's like the 5th game in a series I played all of, I'm always like, start hard.
Do you?
In my youth, I did.
Okay.
I'm too old for that now.
I don't have time. Like, I beat...
Dude, I 1,000 Psychonauts 2. Got the full gamer score.
Oh my gosh.
That's
a lot, dude. It's so much. Like, I was looking at the achievements, I'm like, I'm not getting all those figments. I'm just not. Some of them made me so mad just looking at them.
Well, they did a quality of life update.
Yeah, the filter where you can see them and better or whatever.
It super easy. And the flim shooty thing or whatever that lets you hop.
The little bug thing?
Yeah. It'll have check marks that'll show you whether it's there or not. I'll go to the one with no check mark, and then I'll turn on a little auto shot, and I'll be like, oh, there it is. So after finishing the game, and I think before the quality of life update came out, I spent like 2 or 3 hours looking for stuff I missed. And then after the quality of life update, I spent like an hour and a half and got everything I missed.
Nice. Yeah, I'm right at the end of the game. Like I'm at the part where they're like, make sure that you finish everything you want to finish before you continue, because this is like the point of no return.
I mean, but you can still go back and do it. The only thing that I found you can't redo is like the boss fights, which sucks for the cooking level because it's basically entirely a boss fight.
Yeah, so you can't do that at all?
No. You gotta like start over, which made me super sad because Lucy thinks that game is funny, and she loves cooking shows.
Oh yeah, dude.
She would love that.
Sadie is all about Psychonauts. She watched me do the Cassie level, the library episode.
So you never found the pretzel maker's daughter? It's this like little girl in Lederhosen, and you talk to her or whatever.
Where is she?
She's on one of the platforms. I think it's like the first room you have to use your little projection to open.
Yeah.
In the main area.
Your duplicate.
Yeah, and it's just like she's just like, my dad loves pretzels, and he's like, how do you know? She's like, because I pushed him into the pretzel machine. And that's why everyone is like, that pretzel maker's daughter's creeping me out.
That's hilarious.
It's so funny.
I do like the Dragon of the Night sequence.
Dude.
Where the dragon's like, bro, I'm doing nothing wrong. I'm just sitting right here and this guy's over here. The cops have already been called. Don't worry about it. Because Raz's like, is there anything you want me to do for you? He's like, no, that's cool, man. The cops have already been called. They're on their way.
It's so funny. It's so chill. Now that you've like, I don't know if you have to beat the whole game or just that level, but like go back.
Yeah.
There's a little hidden dialogue there.
Between the dragon and the night.
Yeah. The story continues.
So funny. And their bit cracked me up. And I feel like, I know that Jack Black and Tim Schafer are super good friends. Yeah. And like that's why Jack Black keeps popping up and because he's Helmet.
Yeah.
In the game. And then which I think that whole
the whole level's amazing.
Yes. The sensory, the psychic sensory porium or whatever. Oh. It's so good.
Dude, and the final level's like really good. It's way better than the meat circus in the first one.
That's good. Because that was not good.
It has a nice little tune that gets stuck in your head.
Yeah. Wonderful. I like the crazy mature plot in Psychonauts 2.
Yes.
It does not seem like it would have a mature plot at all.
Yeah.
You know,
but it handles it nicely, right? It's not like mature, like rated R.
No. It's just like, I mean, it's hard,
like a Pixar movie.
It's a hard PG. Soul is a hard PG. Yeah. That movie goes above a lot of people's heads, I feel like, especially kids. Like, I love Soul. I think Soul is a fantastic movie. But there's so many elements in that movie that I'm like, kids don't get this. Kids are never going to get this. Yeah. You know?
Yeah.
Like, Sadie, I don't think Sadie cared for it at all because, like, there's little to no kid Pixar draw. Like, Luca. Bright, colorful, fun characters. Yeah. Cute movie. Right? Soul, not really bright. Cute characters, but like the story and like the elements in the story, it's very like not necessarily dark, but like just very like mature, you know. But I loved it. I thought Soul was so good. But no, Soul's really good. I thought you saw it.
I didn't. Lucy was like into it in the trailers, but I don't know. It's like my wife does not like to see animated movies.
That's true.
My daughter just doesn't like movies.
I know, it makes me so sad for you. Every time we talk
because I'm all the time like, come on, let's just, because I'm like, it's a Pixar movie, we should like it. And like, Lucy's like, I don't want to see a movie. It was like, I don't want to see cartoons. And then I'm like, when do I have like 2 hours to watch a movie by myself?
Dude, I tell you, all the time, I'm always down to catch a film at any point.
Dude, I know. But you know how we struggle just to do this.
That's true. That's true. I really want to take Sadie to see The Eternals. The critics are like, oh, it's too Marvel. Like, no, it's like not Marvel enough, which is why a lot of people don't like it.
That makes sense. You're the first person who said that to me.
I don't think it's Marvel enough.
A lot of people are just like, ugh.
It's just, but I mean, like, here's the thing that, like, drives me nuts about people that, like, are like, yeah, Marvel movies. I'm like, if you don't like the Marvel formula, why are you watching a Marvel movie? Like, if you don't like what they're doing, then why are you watching it? Yeah. Because if it ain't broke, they ain't gonna fix it.
Oh, of course not.
And if a movie makes just even what their budget was back, which it will, because it's a Marvel movie. Yeah. Eternals is going to do just fine in the box office, regardless of what critics say or what reviewers say, you know. It isn't groundbreaking. It does set up some cool stuff for the future, just like Shang-Chi did, just like every Disney Plus TV
like
show
did. Right now, is to set up.
Is set up for the future stuff that's coming. Like, you know, Loki has the most exciting, for me, so far, like, set up for what's coming next as a comic fan. Yeah. Because they've hinted at too much in the other stuff now to not do what I think they're going to do in the movies with what they've shown us what's coming in Loki. Yeah. And then smaller stuff like the setups in Captain America and the Falcon and the Winter Soldier. Mm-hmm. Like, I'm excited for that stuff because that opens up, like, the street level heroes. That's going to be fun. Yeah. You know? Or like the Thunderbolts, like Marvel Suicide Squad.
Oh, right.
WandaVision didn't really set up too much except for Doctor Strange, but I feel like it didn't need help being set up. Like, no. Doctor Strange 2 is already...
I definitely felt like the TV shows, they kind of assumed they weren't going to matter a lot.
Yeah.
Like, they did good things with them, but I feel like they kind of had this light touch of, like, if no one likes Marvel shows, we'll be fine with what we do in the movies.
Yeah, totally. But
I bet the season 2 next wave of Marvel shows, they're going to be different, like way more significant. Yeah. Because I think they've proven that people like the shows.
I agree. Because the next we got Hawkeye in 2 weeks.
Yeah, I think that'll be a lot more. Yeah. I bet like Winter Soldier. Oh yeah, like for sure. With a little Home Alone mixed in a weird way.
What's the other one? The best Christmas movie of all time?
Die Hard.
Yeah, there you go. Home Alone / Die Hard. Yeah. Miss Marvel is definitely going to open up. She-Hulk will for sure open it up, like more important. And then Moon Knight. I'm not going to spoil anything, but there is something very important for a post-credit stinger in Eternals that introduces a character that we know is coming.
But I saw an article that I care about post-credit stinger spoilers. That Blade is on the phone.
Yeah, okay, so there you go.
And I was like, yes, bring Blade back.
Yeah, and
I saw that, I was like, I just need to rewatch the OG one with Wesley Snipes.
The
back when he paid his taxes or whatever.
He didn't, though. That's why. That was the time frame he didn't.
That's when he started not paying.
Yes.
He's like,
that's when he was
I made too much money to pay taxes.
He's like, look at me, I'm Blade. I'm not going to pay taxes. You think Blade pays taxes?
He's like, a method acting. I'm the daywalker, not the taxpayer.
Yeah, daywalkers don't pay tax. That's why these vampires hate him so much.
Stupid IRS.
There's a hilarious sequence in What We Do in the Shadows where Wesley Snipes is part of the Vampire Council, but he's the daywalker, and they hate him because they think that he kills vampires. Like, it's rumored that he's a vampire hunter, but because he's half vampire, he's part of the Great Vampire Council. And he's sitting there, he's like on a plane, and it's clearly like in the middle of the day. And like the light is shining into the window, and it's like Paul Rubens is on the council, and like Christy Swanson's on the council. Like there's just all these.
Is this the movie or the show?
The show.
This is amazing. I can't believe I haven't gotten all this yet.
There's a whole bunch of people that are like they play vampires or like vampiric characters in movies and TV shows or on the council, and like Wesley Snipes, like he Skypes in, and he's like. I think he's like on a plane or something, but it's like in the middle of the day, and he's like, "Hey guys," and he's got like his Blade glasses on. Yeah. And they're like, "No, not the Daywalker. He's a vampire killer." He's like, "What are you talking about? I don't kill vampires." He's like, "I am a vampire. Why would I kill my own guy?" And he's like, "'Cause you're half human, half vampire, and you hate us." Like it's so funny, and like his connection keeps going out. So like they're having like a serious conversation. He's like, "Guys, what do you?" What do you say? So good. So nice. Anyway, but yeah, Eternals is I want to take Sage to see it because like it is cool to see a completely different point of view on the MCU.
Mm-hmm.
It doesn't necessarily bring, like, a universe of new things like I thought it was going to. But, I mean, it's good. Like, it doesn't deserve the hate that it's getting. They think that it's like Black Widow, where it's, like, unnecessary. Whereas I feel like Black Widow movie is unnecessary.
Oh, so I had a friend who had a hot take on that I've been thinking about a lot.
Yeah?
I asked him what he thought about Black Widow. I still haven't seen it. And he said, it's the third best Mission Impossible movie. Which sent me reeling. Because you know I love Mission Impossible as a series. And to make it the third best...
I know, that's
it's like a bold claim.
I'm trying to, like, imagine what he would put 1 and 2.
I think 5 and 6. Maybe 1 and 6. But he put Ghost Protocol at the bottom, which also shocked me.
Yeah, that was pretty excellent.
Yeah, so I don't know.
Is that the Dubai Tower one?
Yeah.
It's bad that I remember Mission Impossible movies, the later ones, by like the big...
By their set pieces?
Yeah.
Yeah. I think that's why I can't remember Rogue Nation at all. Just because the airplane was the opening sequence.
See, and I always get that confused with the last one.
Fallout?
Like that big set piece is him, what's his name, Simon Pegg's on the runway watching him, right? And he like runs up to the plane and like holds on and takes off.
That's the beginning of Rogue Nation.
Yeah, right. Yeah, but see, in my mind, in my headcanon, that's the beginning of Fallout, or like the middle sequence of Fallout. But then it's like, no, because Henry Cavill's not anywhere.
So good.
Although Henry Cavill's death in Fallout is the best villain death in any Mission Impossible.
So good. Everything about it was so good.
Like a hook from a helicopter catching him in the head. It's so good.
It's a masterpiece. I didn't get to talk about my comics. And you didn't talk about Zelda. And I want to talk about Hero Quest. Are we going to hit all these things?
Why not? You know?
So, the comics, I read Daybreak.
Yeah.
Because there's that Netflix show based on it, the teen zombie show. With I totally got you to watch it. They were like the Daybreakers was their club, and like what's his face is in it?
Yeah. I know what you're talking about.
Ferris Bueller was like the villain.
Yeah.
It's so good.
I got you.
It was such a delight, and so I got the comic. Comic is super different. It's interesting because it's like a first person comic, like the character's like talking to you the whole time.
That's weird.
Which is pretty neat, but does not turn into a teen drama based on 90s movies set in a zombie apocalypse. It's just kind of a zombie story.
Like Walking Dead type?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like very somber. It's not breaking the fourth wall because you're a character. But
it's like reading a book from first person, but in comic form.
Yeah, which I feel like technically makes it second person.
Bananas. That sounds crazy.
Yeah, it's pretty good. It was like, I see why it was good. I see why it was an option for a TV show. But they took the title and the main character, and then they're out.
What was the other one? You said
Planet of the Apes.
I'm most interested about this.
I know. I was trying to build to it a little bit.
Yeah.
So, they took, what is his name? Because I'm thinking Gene Roddenberry, and that is wrong. Who's the Twilight Zone guy?
Rod Sterling.
Yeah. They took Rod Sterling's original draft and turned it to a comic. It's like...
Fun fact, I did not know that Rod Sterling had anything to do with Planet of the Apes.
He wrote it. Is not the Statue of Liberty ending like the most Rod Sterling
ending?
Yes,
that's what I'm saying. Now that you say it, how did I not know this?
He wrote it.
It's amazing. It makes me so happy.
And so apparently his first draft, it was basically set in modern times, but everyone was an ape. So it's like, so the comic is like in the 60s. It's like these apes are driving cars and stuff or whatever. Or just kind of weird.
Yeah, a little bit.
But overall, it follows pretty close to the original plot of the movie. Okay. Like, but they took away a lot of the modern stuff.
Is it like a one-shot type deal, or is it
okay. It's just like a one-shot. It's like the Planet of the Apes movie.
Gotcha.
Except Rod Sterling's first draft of it.
That's interesting.
It is. It was pretty interesting. I really enjoyed it. And in the back, it had a lot of stuff about like things that changed and stuff like that.
Yeah, I'm still reeling at the fact that I did not know.
I can't believe you didn't know.
Because I'm such a Rod Sterling fan because I love old school 60s Twilight Zone.
Yes.
And I think he's was Rip was a wonderful human being, and like he was so like creatively like he was a genius.
Yeah.
Like Twilight Zone gets so much crap because of how camp it is, but that's what makes it so great.
Oh, it's also I feel like for a weekly show or whatever.
Yeah, yeah, oh yeah.
Like
especially back then,
because even nowadays, right? If you compare it to something like Brea, it's like a million times better.
It's your show of 2021.
Dude, man. Well, it's like a mainstream network science fiction show.
Yeah, yeah. They definitely market itself to be like the next Lost or the next...
Yeah, but to be internally aware of it is so weird. They legit were like, oh, we can't figure out how to get this person out of this collapsed structure. And the guy's like, remember in Lost how they just used dynamite to blow the hatch open? Wish we could do that. And they're like, we could build a bomb!
Oh my god. That is... If I was an ABC executive, I'd be like, NBC, can you call them? Like, get them on the phone.
It's an intervention. It's not even like a stop. It's just like, what are you doing to yourself?
Guys, you're better than this. You are better. You guys gave us The Good Place. I understand this isn't a workplace comedy, but can you please...
I know. It's like, they just can't... I think my addiction to NBC science fiction shows started when they made a Time Cop, the series.
What?
Did it out like 20 years ago.
Okay. Is NBC the same network that did Sliders?
Well, I know eventually UPN picked it up.
Yeah.
I think it started on Fox.
Okay. Yeah, no, I think you're right. That sounds right.
Because
also seems
very
very much like a Fox show. Yeah, dude. My dad and I were hardcore Slider fans, man. What was that one show though? The Daily Edition or something? The guy that like found the newspaper had.
Oh, Early Edition.
Early Edition.
Dude,
yeah.
Love that show.
Yeah.
I actually just bought it on DVD.
Did you?
Because Emily likes it too. And by just bought it, I mean in January.
Oh, okay.
And it's still the shrink wrap. Because Emily's like, we love that show. We talk about it all the time. I was like, yes, it would be so fun to just watch it. And then we never opened it.
No.
All the time we're like, what should we watch next? I was like, maybe Early Edition.
That was the show that I used to watch with my grandfather, man. What was the... that's not the same one where like the dude was basically a ghost, right? There's another one where like a guy like he could jump into different bodies.
You think Quantum Leap?
Quantum Leap is what I'm thinking of, yes. Man, look at this. On top of it.
Yeah. Well, man, this is my lane. I don't know. It must be Back to the Future that started it, but I love time travel, the genre.
Yeah.
Changing events, all that stuff.
Yeah.
It's probably one of the reasons that make Brea so hard for me to watch.
Can you even classify that as a time show, though?
Well, they did the whole thing. They have an episode where they send a plane back to, rescue them. It crashes. They're going to fix it and try to fly back. And they did a whole thing where
it's in a hole, though.
He found a message.
How'd they get the plane down there?
What? They flew it into the hole.
It's straight down?
Yeah. It's VTOL. It was like a special plane.
Okay.
Designed to travel through. But he crashes.
And presumably dies.
And so, this is a guy I was saying they introduced just to create more drama.
Oh, okay.
Because it's like quickly revealed, even though he's the best friend of the main guy or whatever, he was also having an affair with his wife.
Oh my god.
So cliche. Everything about the show is so cliche.
So bad.
But anyways, they did the whole thing where she put a message in the bottle, you found it in the future. So it's like, oh good, they're going to try to blah blah blah. And then they found a wrecked spacecraft. Like it just appeared in the dig site. And so he sends a drone back with an iPad with a message that's like, don't get on the plane. And then so
it's equivalent to Charlie's Not Penny's boat.
Yeah. So funny. Lost. It's like the Steven Seagal version of a Bruce Lee movie.
It's such a savage burn to this show. Like, it's bad. That hurts my feelings. I don't even like this show.
It's rough, man. But and then when they didn't take off or whatever, the plane and the dig site disappeared. So they're like, oh, we figured it out.
Of course.
The one thing the show did that I feel like I appreciate is he stole a plane and he was gonna fly it in himself. And they're all like, we got F-15s about to shoot you down if you don't turn back now. And his daughter's like, please, Dad, turn around. And he decides to turn around. And they have a scene where they're like, here's the non-disclosure agreement. And the guy's like, what? I'm not signing that. I need to save my family. And he's like, you just violated all these federal laws. We want to make it go away. Just sign it so no one talks about it. I was like, I feel like very few shows address the fact that people like break international laws and all this. Like, the whole military's chasing them down. You know, I feel like there'd be repercussions to it.
Yeah.
And this show finally addressed it.
There we go.
There's one point on its side in 8 episodes.
That is not a good show.
It's not. But I'm gonna watch this whole season. I'm pretty sure, and hate every second of it.
You're invested, man. Like you're in it to win it now. Even if it goes for a full 20 episode season.
I swear, if we could watch it together. Anytime somebody says something, we could just pause it and be like, "What is this person gonna say back?" And we'll guess it 90% of the time.
We're not even screenwriters.
You can't go in there. I have to go in there. It's all stuff like that.
I only watched 2 or 3 episodes, like I said earlier, and everything you've told me has made me physically nauseous to even think about watching this show. It's like, bad. Dude, at this point in our lives, like we're in our mid-30s, I got 2 kids, you got a kid, we both have full-time jobs. I don't have time to waste on bad.
I know. This is time I should be spending to watch What We Do in the Shadows.
Dude, it's so good. Especially because every episode... Mark Hamill is a guest star in What We Do in the Shadows. He's a angsty former roommate of one of the vampires, and he's mad because he thinks that one of the other vampires owes him rent.
That's awesome.
It's so good.
Did you want to talk about Zelda?
Yeah, man. Been on a big Zelda kick. Like I was telling you when we were setting up. Mm-hmm. For the first time, 100%ed the remake of Link's Awakening. Well, beat it. I didn't beat it before. And then I also 100%.
That's awesome.
And then, because, like, I'm a huge Zelda nut. Like, I love Mario. I love Nintendo, period. Like, the Nintendo franchise. And I will play any flagship Nintendo franchise, even if it's like Splatoon. I enjoy it so much that I'm looking forward to Splatoon 3. But it's only been around for like 6 years.
I know. That's what throws me off about it, is the fact that, like, I'm old enough that it still feels new to me.
Yeah, well, totally. And I mean, like, it feels new to me,
and it's, like, insane to call it a flagship part of it. But so many people play it. So many people love it. Like,
and I mean, it is a huge system seller for people. It's a system seller for sure. It pushes numbers. Like, if you want a good online game for your Switch, get Splatoon. Yeah. You know? And if you're a parent and like, I want my kid to be able to play online with their friends something, but it's not violent, get Splatoon. Yeah. You're just shooting ink at people or at the wall or whatever, you know? I was actually telling Randy this earlier. Like, my favorite Zelda games of all time are tied for first are probably Ocarina of Time and Majora's Mask. I can't decide for sure. But then we got Wind Waker and either Link to the Past or Link's Awakening. I hate the first one. I know that's like weird to say. Like the original NES one. Hate it. It's garbage. It's a garbage game. It's so bad. Like everything about it's like I understand like when it came out, like that's what they had, you know, and I get it.
And you can totally. It's clearly the same formula as Link's Past and a Link's Awakening.
It's the same formula as every Zelda game. Like there's nothing different. Other than the fact that, like, since Ocarina of Time, they've been 3D. That's the only difference.
Yeah. Now, I get it, though. I feel like when I finally saw Citizen Kane, I was like...
And?
Yeah. I was like, clearly every movie I've ever seen has been heavily influenced by this.
Right.
To the point that this movie doesn't matter to me.
Right. Totally.
I can see hating the original Zelda.
Like, it's just, like, it bothers me because, like, the overworld map makes no sense. Like, 0 sense. Back in the 80s when it came out, the idea was hand draw your own map of Hyrule, right? So that you could keep track of where you're going, where you've been, kind of deal. Mm-hmm. Like dungeons over here, monsters over here, heart piece over here, right? I tried that. Still doesn't add up. Doesn't make sense. I mean, it adds up in the mechanic sense for the game's purpose. Like dungeons are where dungeons are, and like for the most part, like static pieces of the map or where static pieces of the map are. Eventually I just started following when I first started to play it all the way through the original Zelda game a couple years ago when it came when the Switch got their online thing. Yeah. I was like following the online strategy guide because it was pissing me off. So I'm like following it and the guy's like go down 2 screens, left 1 screen. I'm like, okay. Not what he's describing. And then, like, you pull up a big map, and it's like, that's not where I am. But then, like, the other ones, like, Link's Awakening, for example, it is just one giant map with 8 dungeons in it. Each area is so different. Like, you can't, if you got lost in that map, then you don't know what you're doing. And same with, like, Link to the Past, same with, like...
That's true, they have much clearer regions and stuff like that.
Yeah, and, like, you kind of have a better feel geographically where everything is.
Yeah.
And the 3D ones, they're just, all of them are pretty good in their own right. I didn't care for, like I was telling you, when it first came out, I didn't care for Skyward Sword, and I'm currently playing through that on the Switch because the controls are better.
Yeah.
Still not great, but they're better. They have better options to play it, But when it came out on the Wii, I played like the first 3 dungeons, maybe like a third of the way through the game, and I was like, "Nah, I'm done with this. This is stupid,"
Yeah.
Because every Zelda game also has a gimmick. Ocarina of Time, obviously you have the time traveling mechanic. Majora's Mask, you have the masks that you can put on.
Yeah.
You have Wind Waker, you got the boat. You have Twilight Princess, you have the dimensional thing when you turn into a wolf. Huh?
Wasn't there like a train in that one? Isn't one of the Zelda games heavily
there
featured
is one.
Train?
There's the handheld one that's all around. It's like Wind Waker, but with trains. And it's called Spirit Tracks.
Steam Waker.
Close enough. But anyway, I'm just like, I'm sitting there, it's the 35th anniversary for the Zelda franchise. I'm realizing how much I really appreciate and enjoy the Zelda franchise. And after 100%ing a game that I played as a kid but never played again since I was a kid, and then I play like a colorful updated remake of it, I'm like, you know what, I'm going to go back and play as many of these as I can and get as close to 100% on all of them.
That's exciting.
As I can. Like Majora's Mask might edge out Ocarina a little bit as my favorite one, just because it's so weird.
Yeah.
Like, it has, like, the side quest about preventing the people being abducted by aliens on the farm.
How about that?
So good.
I need to play that.
It's so good. I mean, they frame it as ghosts in the game, but it's very much, like, supposed to be, like, an alien abduction thing. That's my spiel about it.
I feel like I'd rather be abducted by aliens than ghosts, though.
Yeah. It's called possession.
Possession, I feel, is different than abduction, right?
I mean, yeah.
Aliens might have some possession rays or something.
Maybe.
Mind control.
If you play, what's that franchise? Destroy All Humans. You playing anything currently?
No, I just finished Psychonauts, like I was saying. And Halo comes out in a couple weeks.
Yeah, like December 5th, right? Something like that.
So weirdly, I was all like ready to buy it, but the multiplayer is free to play, and I don't know if I really actually care about the story.
Really?
I've played them all, so part of me feels like I should play it.
Yeah.
But at the same time, I don't think any of them have been good since the first one.
Really? Not even 2? Like, everyone says that 2 is the best?
I'll give it to Reach. I feel like 2 is a game changer. Kind of like GoldenEye was a game changer, right? Like, I always tell people, like, I am one of the few people who was like a PC gamer who moved over to console gaming. Because most people go the other way. So, like, when everyone was going crazy over GoldenEye on the N64, I was like, I played a million other shooters. This isn't the best one I've ever played, you know? Like, Quake 3 came out the same year. And that was, like, amazing shooter. So I was like, meh. And so I feel like something similar happened with Halo versus Halo 2. Is that Halo 2, everyone got to play online. Like, it was like a new experience. But I've been playing online shooters for like 5 years before that, you know?
Yeah.
And then on top of that, we used the school network where, like, our dorm was all connected to the school network. So everyone had their Xboxes plugged in. And, like, at any moment, someone would just be like, we're playing Halo! And all of a sudden, it's like a 16-person LAN party. Like, I was in, like, 16-person Halo 1 LAN parties, like, every night of college. I love the first Halo. And the story is, like, brilliant video game story where everything is just setting up the next exciting thing to do. But Halo 2 started to be all, like, the heavy science fiction-y stuff. Halo 2 ends with, like, a plant holding Master Chief, like, oh, your destiny's coming, or whatever. Like, all of them are stupid. They're all stupid. And they're all just trying to copy the best set pieces from Halo 1 anyways. And the later stories have the weird, like, square triangle aliens. Like, the founders or whatever. It's dumb.
Square
like
triangle.
Halo 1 is just like pure and beautiful.
I know that Halo 5 made a lot of Halo fans like mad.
I played it just because Halo Infinite was coming out, and I had it, and I hadn't even played the single player because, like I said, I don't really care. Mm-hmm. But I was like, I'll just play it, and I get why people didn't like it, but it wasn't bad. It was pretty much the same as the other ones story wise, except for you're like not playing as Master Chief for most of the game. Which I feel like offends people. But
I think that's
gameplay wise,
the biggest problem was the people.
Same.
I started playing the new Forza on Game Pass. I don't care about any other like racing sim game. Mm-hmm. Like I don't like Gran Turismo. I don't like Forza Motorsport. Forza Horizon though, where it's super arcadey and not realistic at all, but very pretty to look at and very fun to do. I'm all for those, you know. Like, there's a rewind time mechanic that, like, if you get in a wreck and you're like, oh, I was in first, now I'm in 12th. Like, you can rewind time in the race and, like, win.
That's fun.
To get your whatever.
Do you have infinite rewind, or is it just kind of like...
Yeah. You can rewind as far back as, like, the beginning of the race. Like, if you've screwed up that badly. I mean, obviously you can't do that against people, but, like, against avatars or whatever.
That's fun. I also feel like that's how they pitched the original Xbox. There's a hard drive. You can do anything. And now here we are 20 years later.
20 years later.
Actually able to rewind the race. All right, I feel like we're getting tired.
Yeah, man.
Let me end on my Hero Quest hype train. So it's like the OG dungeon crawling board game. They like remastered it, reprinted it.
When was it first released?
Like 1995. 1996 or whatever. And it's kind of like a Dungeons & Dragons Lite, where it's just like just the dungeon part.
Yeah.
And but you do get like a little character sheet. You can name your characters or whatever. But it's also made by the people who make Warhammer originally, so it's very much more like a Conan the Barbarian vibes instead of like Lord of the Rings vibes. And it's super cool. I loved playing as a kid.
Yeah, the picture you sent me of the back of the box, I was like, this looks
Dude, legit. It is the best box art of all time. Like the big barbarians like swinging a sword. Oh, it's gorgeous. And then I was looking at the rule book or whatever, and the villain was called Zardock. And it's like you gotta like read it to him, kind of like we were doing the initiative with the story or whatever.
Yeah.
Where it's like, I'm Zardock, and I will reveal the board to you. Oh, it's so good, man. So like, good. And it's like a legacy game for their legacy games, because your characters like roll over to each one.
Yes.
And some of the rules seem needlessly harsh. Like if your character dies and none of the other heroes are near them, monsters take all their stuff. And you're just out.
Dang.
It came with these 2 expansions I never got to play as a kid, which is really what sucked me into paying for the Mythic tier. I was like, I always wanted to play those.
Now,
but
look at you now.
Look at me now, making it rain.
If you could go back in time, what would you tell a younger self about?
Man. It's really not positive. I feel like growing up sucks. You finally have enough money to buy this insane game, and you'll never get to play it. You don't have time. Nobody wants to play with you.
It's like the scene from Billy Madison when he's in high school, and the kid's like, how's high school, Billy? And he grabs his cheeks, and he's like, don't grow up. Ever.
Yes. It's perfect. That's what I would do to my young self, who always, because it's like I wanted the expansions, but it was like they were very limited print runs.
It's kind of weird.
It's like there's other stuff going on that I wanted, and I never got them, which was like fine. I had a great childhood, but then it's like when I was like a college age, I had some people who would play with me, and I was like, oh, I'm gonna go back and buy these expansions I never got to play, but they're like out of print, highly collectible, and they're like $200 a piece. And I was like, nope.
I'm trying to spend my college spending money on
but now,
dude, do you remember the days in college when like something you want's like $100 and you're like, well, I'm never getting that,
dude. Yes. And then now I have the opposite, where I'm ashamed. I spent $195 on this thing.
Dude, it depends on what it is.
I know. I was telling Emily, I was like, I can't. When will I play it? She's like, but you always wanted it. You should get it. I'm just like, this is so much money. And I'm never going to play it. But I'm going to make you play it for you on the stream, on our podcast.
Where we stay above the board.
Yeah, so.
With above the board.
Thanks for watching.
Yeah.
Follow us at Twitch TV/AboveTheBoard, so you can join in the chat.
Subscribe.
Influence our conversation.
Yeah, for sure.
And
tell us how above the board we are with our
hot takes.
Yeah, there you
go. Speaking of hot takes, how do you like Back to the Future Dice Through Time?
I like it a lot, actually. When you were explaining it, I wasn't quite sure how it was going to play out.
Yeah.
But definitely, like, just a move or two in, I was like, oh, okay, cool.
Yeah.
And it definitely seems like a fun, puzzly type co-op game, for sure.
I feel like it would be fun with 4 people, like, in a chaotically fun way.
Hard as heck, I feel like, with 2 people. Like, especially if you do, like, a higher difficulty with, like, 4 people and then, like, 5 items. Because
it creates this, like, weird layer. Like, well, it would be harder in that you can't, like, go to the same place at the same time.
Yeah.
It'd also kind of be easier because you do more Ripley stuff. Would be more effective, I think.
Yeah.
So, I don't know. It seems interesting. I'd be up for trying it. My one concern, I feel like I need another playthrough to see, is that, like, we were talking about what we've done different to win.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. I wonder how random it is.
That's true.
I mean, I do like rolling dice, and I felt like we were able to use the dice effectively, but I can't visualize the turning point in the game where we could have used our dice differently than we did.
No, I think we played it pretty smartly.
So maybe it's a whole question of fate and destiny. It's all good time travel stories.
Not unlike Brea.
There's no point to any of it.
I'm so sorry I brought it up again. It just cracks me up.
They found Civil War gold.
Oh my god. You did not.
In 10,000 BC.
NBC. What are you doing? You know?
Alright. I don't know how I'll possibly edit this down to a 1-hour podcast.
Hour and a half. We'll be fine. I assume we'll be back next week, right?
Yeah. Probably. I don't want to make any promises.
Yeah.
I think
it'll be.
This is our vibes, people. We're making a podcast, and cross your fingers it comes out twice a month. And if you want to get in on see how the sausage is made, follow us on Twitch TV /AboveTheBoard.
I didn't know where you're going with that.
Thanks for listening. Josh and Phil with
above the board.
This is too late. We went up. This sign on is weak. Off. It's a sign off.
I was like, what are you talking about, Phil? We're not about to do this again.
Yeah. Thanks for watching Above the Board.
With Josh.
And Phil. Have a nice, appropriate time of day for whatever you're listening.
Very good.